Imagine the natural world as a giant, intricate web. If you pull on just one single thread, the entire thing can start to unravel. This is the core of ecology, understanding interdependence, the idea that no living thing is an island. Every ecosystem, from a desert to a reef, is shaped by two types of forces. First are the living parts, the biotic factors, like a predator hunting its prey, or two species competing for the same patch of land. Then there are the non-living, abiotic factors, the temperature of the air, the intensity of the sun, or the pH of the soil. These non-living elements dictate who can even survive in the first place. Within this web, organisms form fascinating relationships called symbiosis. Think of a clownfish and a sea anemone. The anemone's stinging tentacles protect the fish, and in return, the fish cleans the anemone. It's a win-win, a relationship called mutualism. The strength of this entire web depends on biodiversity, the variety of life. An ecosystem with high biodiversity, like the Great Barrier Reef, is incredibly stable. If one food source disappears, there are usually alternatives. But an ecosystem with low biodiversity, like a wheat farm, is fragile. A single pest or disease can cause a total collapse. This is interdependence in action. Plants depend on bees for pollination. Bees depend on flowers for nectar. Some birds depend on bees for food. If the bees vanish, the plants can't reproduce, and the birds begin to starve. One thread is pulled, and the web trembles. So studying ecology isn't just about identifying animals. It's about seeing the invisible connections. It's about using systems thinking to understand that the survival of one species is tied to countless others, and that if we pull a thread, the entire web feels the vibration.